In the heart of a bustling city, there lived a young man named Kabir. Kabir was a dreamer, but his dreams often felt too big for the small, run-down apartment he shared with his widowed mother. They barely made ends meet, relying on her income as a seamstress. Despite their struggles, Kabir's mother always told him, "Life is a ladder, Kabir. You climb it one step at a time. Don't try to jump to the top. You'll only fall." Kabir's ultimate goal was to become an architect and build homes for people like his mother, who had spent her life in cramped spaces. He carried a small notebook everywhere, sketching buildings and structures whenever inspiration struck. But achieving his dream felt impossible. They couldn't afford college tuition, and every job Kabir applied for rejected him due to a lack of experience. One day, after another rejection, Kabir sat on a park bench, disheartened. As he doodled aimlessly in his notebook, an old man approached and sat beside him. The man, dressed in worn clothes but carrying an air of quiet confidence, noticed Kabir's sketches. "Those are some impressive designs," the man said. Kabir sighed. "Thanks, but they're useless. I can't afford to study architecture, and no one will hire me without a degree." The man chuckled. "You remind me of myself when I was your age, full of dreams, but unsure where to start." Curious, Kabir asked, "What did you do?" The man smiled. "I learned to climb the ladder of success, one step at a time. Let me tell you my story." Decades ago, the man, whose name was Raj, had been a poor farmer's son in a remote village. He dreamt of creating a business that could help his community, but with no money or connections, his ambitions seemed far-fetched. Raj's journey began when he started working at a small general store in his village. The job paid pennies, but Raj took it seriously. He arrived early, stayed late, and observed how the store operated. Over time, he noticed inefficiencies and found ways to improve them. One day, the store owner, impressed by Raj's dedication, promoted him to manage the shop. Raj took this opportunity to learn about inventory, pricing, and customer service. He saved a portion of his earnings and began dreaming bigger. Years later, Raj moved to the city and used his savings to open a small grocery stall. It wasn't easy. He faced competition, long hours, and occasional failures. But he persevered, applying every lesson he'd learned from the general store. With time, his stall grew into a chain of grocery stores. Raj didn't achieve success overnight, but each step he took brought him closer to his goal. "I didn't start with a business empire," Raj told Kabir. "I started with sweeping floors and stocking shelves. Success is a ladder, and every rung matters." Raj's story struck a chord with Kabir. He realized that while his dreams were valid, his approach needed patience and strategy. That evening, Kabir made a list of small, achievable steps toward his goal. His first step was finding any job related to architecture, even if it wasn't glamorous. After weeks of searching, Kabir landed an internship at a construction site. The pay was minimal, and his tasks were basic, carrying materials, organizing blueprints, but Kabir embraced them with enthusiasm. He used every opportunity to learn, asking engineers and architects questions during breaks and studying their plans after hours. Slowly, people began to notice his dedication. One day, the site supervisor handed him a small project, designing a storage shed for the workers. Kabir poured his heart into the design, staying up late to perfect every detail. When the shed was built, it impressed everyone on site, including the company's chief architect. Recognizing Kabir's potential, the architect offered to mentor him. Over the next few years, Kabir climbed higher on the ladder. With his mentor's guidance, he enrolled in affordable night classes to study architecture. During the day, he worked tirelessly on projects, building a reputation for creativity and reliability. Each step brought its own challenges. There were times when Kabir felt overwhelmed, balancing work, studies, and responsibilities at home. But he remembered his mother's words and Raj's story. He focused on one step at a time, never losing sight of his goal. 10 years later, Kabir stood at the inauguration of his first major project, a housing complex designed for low-income families. His mother, now retired, beamed with pride as she cut the ribbon. Kabir had not only achieved his dream, but had also created something meaningful for others. As reporters asked about his journey, Kabir smiled and said, "Success isn't about giant leaps. It's about small, consistent steps. Every failure, every challenge, every small victory, they're all rungs on the ladder. If you keep climbing one step at a time, you'll reach the top." Kabir's story, like Raj's, is a testament to perseverance, patience, and the power of starting small. The ladder of success may seem daunting,